Welcome to another video. I am on phone me today because, well, this would be impossible with my DSLR because that thing is too big. It's gonna get dry, very dry. I keep forgetting I live in a neighborhood and cars drive by. Let's just get started. We are about to enter a dry spell, I think. If it doesn't rain tomorrow, it's not supposed to rain for like a week and a half, and it hasn't rained for 3 or 4 days now, and we had a ton of rain weeks prior, so we had that big giant rain. Now it's gonna be super hot and super dry. It's supposed to be like 85 tomorrow, so we need to get some water on the ground because people are gonna need it. Or people are gonna need it. The lawn's gonna need it. I mean, people are gonna need to water their lawns too, so that's fine. But so it's time to assemble the team and get this team rolling and out of here. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm just gonna show you. So I need to assemble a team of sprinklers. Now, if you know from last year or the year before, or I don't know, whenever I made that video, you guys know that I have a, well, I wouldn't say a big collection, but I wouldn't say a small collection either. Let me just show you real quick. I'm not going to pull all that out. That's a lot. I have a lot of sprinkler parts. I've been collecting for quite a long time now. In fact, I've been collecting since 2010, and it's been 15 years. So some of this stuff is pretty old. In fact, that one is pretty old. That one is also pretty old. Some of that stuff in that bin, pretty old. But regardless, yeah, so got to sort through the stuff that I want to use here. And this year, I think I'm going to go towards a certain direction. I think I want to aim towards more the, I don't know, the more efficient or more professional side of things. Last year, as my main set of sprinklers, I used all of my pop-up gear drives, like my 52 SA stainless steel, my I-20, and then backyard, I think I used the 32 SA. Maybe at some point I used my 2 little Rainbirds. I'm not sure, but this year I know for front yard wise what I want to use, and it's only going to be 2 of them, not 3. Last year I used 3. This year's only going to be 2. And here are the 2 that I'm going to use. For the front yard, I have set out what I want to use. I'm going to be using the 35 PJ on this Gilmore poly base. It's actually the poly base for this head here. And then this metal base is also a Gilmore base, a much older one. I don't have the head for this one anymore. And then I'm going to be using my 25 PJ on this one. If not, I may decide later to put it on this spike that I got last year from the Orbit head that I have somewhere. This guy right here. This Orbit. So I may put it on this just for sizability and more able to put it into small corners because I want to put it in a specific corner of my yard. And I know this doesn't sit flat for where it is, but this can. So I may use this. I'm not sure. So I'll have to set everything up. I got to get quick disconnects for everything. The backyard, I'm still deciding on what I want to use. If I want to stick to Rainbird, I may go with my tried and true 2 Rainbird Blackbird version 2s. I use these. Actually, I've almost used these almost every single year since I've gotten them because they're super water efficient, and I can run 2 of them on the back spigot, even though the back spigot is only 40 psi static pressure. So this one will be much nicer and much better. Last year I used, as you can see, some of them still have parts on it. Last year I used my 42 SA plus, or no, actually I used my 52 SA plus I-20 and 42 SA plus on the front spigot since I had 3 hoses last year. I also bought this shrub riser so I can get rid of my shrub heads. I don't think I have any of those shrub heads anymore. I think I actually got rid of them all. If I didn't, then I don't know where they are. Well, that's fine though. But you get the idea. So, and then I'll use, I don't know, one of these bases, plastic bases that I have, maybe. I don't know. I'll decide. But I am actually not going to use my pattern master for the first time. Every year I usually use my pattern master because it's such a nice sprinkler, because I can put it in the middle of the yard and then it can water almost the entire thing. But I'm not actually going to use it this year. I'm going to try using other things because I haven't used a lot. Someone apparently has a four-wheeler and it's really loud. Another thing I have to check and go back and watch is, I think in the video that I made, this one was broken. The gear drive mechanism for this doesn't spin anymore, so I'll have to test it to actually make sure this one doesn't actually work. I think at some point we had two of these, but I think the other one went because something was wrong with it. Or this was the one that went wrong and the other one just went anyway, but because now we have two newer ones that my dad uses. He uses these brand new, these are not Nelson, these are Milmors. These are actually really nice, very water efficient. They work extremely well, especially on the back spigot. So let's put the crew together. I also got to put all this stuff back. So yeah, and it's really hot outside. It's 80. It feels so much hotter than 80 though. It feels like 85 to 90. I don't think it's going to rain. It's supposed to rain at like, I don't know, 3 a.m. to like 6 a.m. I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to be a fake rain. It's supposed to be thunderstorms or something. Anyways, I'm just going to put all this stuff together and I'll see you in a bit. Another thing that I'll have to do is also go through every single O-ring on every single seal to make sure everything's sealed and okay. Because I have a O-ring kit basically to replace all my O-rings. And for straight through sprinklers that don't need filtration, like this used to be the orbit head one, I'm going to end up taking this filter screen O-ring out and just putting a normal one in it, because I'm putting a straight through impact sprinklers. Impact sprinklers don't need filters. Gear drive oscillating sprinklers, yes, those ones should have filters on it because they can get clogged easily, and you'd rather have it clog here than clog inside the tube. So makes sense. But if it's a straight through impact sprinkler, yeet these guys out. You don't need them. You can just put a regular O-ring, but it has to have an O-ring or it will leak. I've just done not putting an O-ring in it and it will leak. Put O-rings in it. It'll save you water pressure, money, and headaches too, honestly. Another thing that I praise, not sponsored by the way, but these Lowe's Project Source quick disconnect fittings are the best. They're the best, just in general. These things are incredible. I love them so much. These are how many I have, and that's not even accounting for the 4 or 5 that are currently on some of the sprinklers that I have. I took all of these off a bunch of these stuff because I'm trying to save them and figure out which ones are in still pretty good condition. Now these two on the end here, these two right here, probably should be retired and thrown out. This one still has a bit of service life left. This one's been used a little, and these ones I think are still brand new. So these two, thank you for your service, but you are pretty worn out. These two quick disconnect fittings on the end here are also going to be retired. I actually think these are a set of the originals, like the original ones we bought 6 or 7 years ago, because they're so beat up and corroded. These were when they used to make them out of silver instead of, I believe that's copper or something. Much better quality than on those than these. So thank you for your service, but we do not need you any longer. And you two are coming with me. I might need that, but I'll come back and check. I'm gonna be checking some of these to see how their quick disconnects are. I also needed to grab another one for this because, well, I am actually gonna use this. So I brought the other base over here with me because I'm actually gonna put one of these plastic boys on it like that. And then this is gonna be in the backyard. Then the other plastic one will go in here. This one's already been screwed on. And this one will go right here. And if you guys don't know how this works, I can actually show you real fast. Let me just screw this on and put the head on real fast, and I'll show you what these things actually do. So how this quick disconnect actually works is you have your sprinkler in the ground like this, and you grab the hose, well, wherever the hose front is. I actually don't, oh, here it is. You grab this, there's a quick disconnect. Ooh. Excuse me for a moment. There's a quick disconnect that's in much better condition on the end of your hose. And then you have your sprinkler. Now, what these are very useful for, and actually I'll grab one of these for demonstration purposes, and another thing for demonstration purposes, is you have your lawn sprinkler, it's doing whatever, watering your pool, I don't know, maybe you like watering your pool, and then It's attached like this. You put it on, you have it attached, and boom, it's on. Nice and snug, watertight. I'll make sure it's all watertight. Take it off, do that. If you have a hose thing like this, you just pull back on the little ring, push in, and now you got a little thing to use. Take it off, put it back on your sprinkler, and you're set and ready to go. Quick disconnects. They're the best things. You don't have to do all that twisting. And this does not have a twisting nut. It only has one of those, am I getting rained on? It's sunny outside. Is that cloud really full of rain? This doesn't twist, so untwisting this hose would be a nightmare because you have to untwist the entire sprinkler. This, it's off the sprinkler in just a click. And you need to water your plants or something, you do that and you're set. We have these quick disconnects on all of our stuff. So I can come over here to my dad's sprinkler. Boom, done using his sprinkler. Want to switch back. Boom, need to water plants. Boom, sprinkler. I think you get the idea by this point. It's just quick. So these things are awesome, and they only cost like, I don't know, $8, $10 at Lowe's, Home Depot even, I think. I think these are Project Source pieces, so you might only be able to get these at Lowe's, but I'm not sure. I thought these were Orbit branded for the longest time, but they're not, so yeah. But yeah, buy them. They're extremely useful, and you can put them literally on any hose attachment. So yeah, that's a major plus. Pardon the really loud dog that's barking right now. That's one of my neighbors across the road. Another thing you should check is the end caps. This base is over 10 years old. On the end, if you've unscrewed this enough times, and I have, you can drop the sprinkler without breaking it. Luckily, this is a Rainbird and it'll be durable as hell. Unscrew this and check the O-ring in the bottom of the cap. Now, this O-ring's been replaced because this has a green one in it, and it's one that I put in. Same thing, you want to make sure that these are screwed in nice and tight. Same thing on here. I think I checked this one earlier. Unscrew this, which is very hard to do with one hand. There we go. O-ring, I think this is a green one. Yep, these ones I must have replaced at the same time. I'm gonna put the one newer quick disconnect on it. It's nice and new. Put that on. Tighten it best I can. And then there you go. Quick disconnect. Check these ones as well. Again, I want to make sure. Oh, I didn't screw that on. This one's pretty old. I don't know if I replaced the one in this one. I actually can't tell because the collet cap is the same. I don't think this one's been replaced, but this one seems pretty good. And I don't think I've daisy chained this sprinkler a lot. I checked this end. This end is fine. This one has been replaced before. It has a black one in it. It's a little different, but that's fine. This one's not terribly old. I think I got this one maybe a year or 2 years ago, so this one should be okay. I think, oh yeah, it does the thing where it gets stuck on the end, but that's fine. That means it has a good seal still because it's still nice and good. This end, probably fine too. Check. Oh, this one wants to not spin. That means it probably has a good O-ring on it. Ah, it's a filtered one. See, I should have known. You come out, because I have a replacement I have to go get. I must have left that one in there because I must have not been thinking straight because I don't like those ones very much. So I'm just going to get a generic one. Let's see if I have a green one. I do have a green one. The green one I got from a kit really long time ago that I just happened to have. That kit actually I haven't used any of those that are in there. All the other ones are original, but now we got a nice green O-ring. I'm facing towards the sun. I'm sorry. So now, put this one in. It's all nice and new. Obviously, I'll leak check these later before I put them into service. I like to pull up on it. It's not focusing. There we go. And I'll grab my quick disconnect, tighten it up. Nice and tight. I'll get those two heads screwed on. Alrighty, these are all ready to go. They're all screwed in, set. All the O-rings and stuff have been checked. These were okay. I have some ground stakes. This one likes to move a lot under the pressure, so I usually stick these into the ground to keep it steady. So that's what those are for. These two are all ready to go in the backyard, so I'll put them, and I'll probably see you tomorrow when I first fire them up. All right, good morning. It is me, and I kind of didn't put the video at fold. I kind of just left it hanging. I'm gonna figure out what I said before, or nah, I'm not even gonna. I'm just gonna start talking again. Maybe I'll make this video again, but just different this time. But I'm gonna explain why I like the impact sprinkler over a typical oscillating sprinkler. But we have to get everything going first, so I'll be back in a minute. So I think I did a really bad job explaining this earlier, of how an impact sprinkler works. So I'm going to explain it in a better way, and I'll throw up the example videos as well. So let's get started. So this is your typical American impact sprinkler. Nothing special. It goes around in a circle, follows a path, makes the tick noise that you're hearing all around us right now because I'm watering. You get the idea. So basically, how you adjust this thing is the way you do this. So some sprinklers, in this case, this Nelson plastic head has the trip arm in the front position, as you can see right here. The most sprinklers have the trip arm in the back position, right back here, so it trips going this way. So it makes it less confusing while adjusting. Actually, most sprinklers these days have the trip pin in the back, and most plastic ones have it in the front for cost-saving reasons. So yeah. But anyways, this sprinkler, how it is adjusted is you can set it to pull the trip pin up. Then the sprinkler, would be on a base or spike, would just basically spin round and 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 round in a circle. If you want to actually make adjustments, let me pull these out real quick. You push the trip pin down here, and then it'll go till the stop. It hits a stop, and then switch to go the other way. Kind of something like this. I'm kind of doing it pretty good. Now on this plastic one, how it works is basically there's this little tooth here. That basically prevents it when it's in the trip position for the arm to go back this direction, but it can only go so far, so it pushes itself this direction. So let me put it in the tripped position first. So now it's in the trip position, so now it'll go back. And then once it pushes against that peg, that plastic peg will release, and then you can start going back this way again. Now for range adjustments, since this can probably possibly spray too far, this is a pretty water efficient sprinkler. This can run on pretty low water pressures. There's a couple of ways you can adjust the type of spray you want. So if you want the sprinkler to fan out, like you want it to be like nice fan, you would basically turn this diffuser screw right here. See if I can get a better thing. Right here, here's the diffuser screw. You turn that diffuser screw in, and it's going to push into the water stream that's coming out into this plastic, and it'll cause the sprinkler to fan out. And obviously, if you turn it the other way, it'll just be a straight shot. Put it out to some extent. I think that's out of the stream, something like that. And if you want the sprinkler head to push down, you use this little plastic top piece here to push down wherever you go. So if you want it a little bit pushed down, if you want it all the way pushed down, you can see that the sprinkler looks a little different compared to this. Compared to how it's pushed down there. That pushes the stream, so instead of it shooting really high, it goes really low, which you'd want in some situations if you don't want it to shoot as far. Now, if you have a sprinkler on like a spike, for example, like my 25 PJ over there is, if you can even see it, it's on a spike right now. There it goes, you can see it now. It's on a spike. How that works is you can basically, if it's on a spike, you can basically angle the sprinkler in any orientation. So the other day I had the sprinkler out by the road, next to the concrete. The sprinkler was shooting way up because I tried putting it horizontal with the grass, which causes the water to shoot up. That's great if you want the sprinkler to go really far, but I didn't. I just kind of wanted the water right in front of that road spot there, and shooting way up wasn't it. So I actually angled the spike to go this way into the ground, so the sprinkler will shoot more horizontally with the grass. Pretend this is the grass here. It's going to shoot up. So I had the spike kind of angled in, so it would actually, for my hand, it was more flat, but there's a chair in the way. It would be more flat towards the ground, and then when it's going this way, but which it doesn't because that would be towards the road, it would spike up. But since it was near the grass, it would actually shoot low. Having the water low is best because it'll evenly get the water distributed. It also has less chance of getting blown by the wind. And also, the reason why I don't like oscillating sprinklers specifically is it shoots the water way, way up. Now, in my climate, we rarely get above 95 degrees. In fact, today's supposed to be 95. We rarely get above 100 anymore in the Northeast climate. In some areas, you can get upwards of 100, 110, 115 degrees. And at those types of temperature / humidity, shooting water up in the air can cause evaporation. Not joking, actually. It can cause water to evaporate when it's up in the air, and less water will fall. Also, those streams from those oscillating sprinklers are so thin, they're just going to get blown away by wind anyway when it's up that high. So I always recommend impact sprinklers because they don't shoot as high, and they shoot larger amounts of water. Those tiny little droplets of water, wind can blow them super easily. Those larger drops are heavier and more dense, and they don't get blown as easily. But yeah, so that's basically my example of this explained in a much better way. On the 25 PJ, to angle it down, there's actually that metal deflector that you push down on the top. That's basically your deflector control. I had an old Gilmore head that had the same kind of system, but it was like this, but just metal. But yeah, so that's basically my example and explanation of it. Okay, so on the 25 PJ, it actually has a little different. So you see this little metal rod sticking off of this arm right here. You can see the little thing that's sticking down. When it's in the part circle model, it's actually going to push this metal piece in when it trips, and it pushes it in, and then this metal piece is going to get locked on this side of this metal part. I'll try to show you. And it doesn't allow it to spin because this metal piece is locked in place, so it only allows it to go a little ways. Actually, let me shut this off real quick so it's easier to show you. Now my 35 PJ is absolutely cranking out water right now. Okay, so now that this is shut off, I can show you a little bit. When this trip lever gets actuated, this metal arm comes in because it's spring-loaded, and you push it in, and then this, you see that metal thing that was on that arm? Can't push back anymore, and it ends up pushing the sprinkler this way due to physics. Another thing I can show you is this little deflector thing, but I gotta turn the water back on first. This is leaking a lot, but whatever. So how this deflector thing works is basically you point it down, and it protrudes into the stream. This is really difficult to do one-handed. And basically it pushes into the stream and makes it a little bit fanned out. The diffuser screw can do the same thing. That is difficult to get back up. I gotta do that with the water off. Compared to more of a jet stream, reaches a little further. I actually am planning on getting a second one of these, that spike and the 25 PJ, because I actually really like it. So yeah. And it actually might come out here. I'm sorry, 35 PJ. You're really cool and all, but you're just super cumbersome to set up because I got to put spikes into the base because this thing wants to move so much because it's such a big sprinkler head. And it needs a proper metal base for it to sit. This one's actually working pretty good, so I may actually continue using it. And if I get two of them, then I get matched water rates. I actually don't know the precipitation rate of these. I don't know the gallons per minute of these things. I know it's not a lot because I can actually turn the sprinkler faucet down. Actually, if I turn this up all the way by itself, it actually puts out too much pressure and the head can't properly rotate. So I know I'm exceeding the pressures of this thing, but it still holds on anyway. It doesn't break. But this thing likes lower water pressures. I want to say it's not running very hard right now because the other sprinkler is running. But this thing really runs hard when it has full pressure going to it via the spigot. Because this is not a restricted outdoor water faucet. This is straight street pressure. This does not go through any water flow regulation thing. It just comes from the street as is. It doesn't go through any pressure regulation system or any pressure regulator that goes to house pressure, which is traditionally 30 psi for most faucets. But it works, and that means my front yard can run 2 sprinkler heads, so I call that a win. Saves time.